Stan, come on, we came third in the league. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Forget about the Europa League. It's Mickey Mouse competition. Don't worry about that. We're in the Champions League anyway, and that's all you care about. Why in the world would you want to employ Maurizio? He's not won a trophy. Yeah, no, alright, fine. I haven't either. Jurgen, my man. Yeah, alright, mate. Stop laughing already. I'm just hoping you can help me out. Have you got any tips on how you bounce back from a final defeat to win it the next year? I don't even want to talk to you, Jose, if I'm honest. I know who you manage now. I'm not having any of it. No, I'm okay, Mum. I don't need to come around for a roast. I'm fine. Yeah, I know. Could Graham Souness's crotch get any wider on TV? No, Alex, I can't bring myself to watch Arsenal fan TV. I'm too scared. The advert's still a go-ahead, but they made some changes. Okay, yeah, no, I'll be there. Don't worry. That's something for me to do over the summer. Take my mind off this, eh? Let's have a look back on what happened last season. And then let's look forward. Because next season is going to be different. Please, it has to be different. Oh, howdy, hey gang, how we doing? Better than me probably at the moment. I'm still not really over yesterday and the Wolves result. We're going to have a very quick episode today, just going through a season review and looking forward to next season, because this is kind of a more in-depth save. I want all of us to get as involved as possible, so I'm going to run you through the shortlist of players that I am looking at getting. I will get onto the transfers in a minute, but first let's have a look back on the season that's just gone. End of season awards are here, and it's no surprise that Nicolas Pepe wins Fans Player of the Season, although having said that, Lucas Torreira came second with 30% of the vote, Pepe had 37%, Aubameyang with 21%. Goal of the season came to Emil Smith-Rowe. He scored a number of worldies actually this season. So let's have a quick look at the goal that he scored. I don't really remember it in all fairness. Oh wait, no, this was on camera. Yeah, Kolasinac here. Played it into Torreira to Delaney. Smith-Rowe. I remember this now. Yeah, very good low strike. I'm pretty sure we've had better goals in all fairness than that. But still a very good finish. Donny van de Beek gets signing of the season. Very, very pleased with his contribution when he came in. And Nicolas Pepe obviously gets young player of the season. So we were expected to finish around about the Europa League places, and we slightly did better than that. And we actually finished third, as we know, and we almost were involved in the title race with Liverpool and City, which I think is a testament itself to how well we've actually played this year. It's an enjoyable campaign with a highly respectable finish, and we're looking to go again next year. Maybe try and secure Champions League football again next year and get even closer to the title, but I don't know if we can win it next year. We'll find out. A lot of it depends on what happens in the transfer window, which we will go through in a minute, as I keep saying. Let's face it, that's the most exciting part, right? Okay, here we go. So the club vision and expectations meeting. So playing attacking football is preferred. We do that, to be fair. Entertaining football, we were good, but not brilliant, I think, last year in terms of entertainment. We got better as the team gelled towards the end of the season, but could look for improvement. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. That's better than under the age of 19, which was before. Do not sign players over the age of 30. That is required, and I don't anticipate we're going to be doing any of that either. Develop players using the club's youth system. There'll be a lot more of the youth players coming through next year. Work within the wage budget. We did that fine. Increase commercial revenue. Not sure how we can do that. We'll have to figure some way out doing that. Minimum 4-year contracts for first team players. God, that's going to be difficult, but that's preferred, so it's not the end of the world if we don't do it. So basically, they want us to qualify for the Europa League next year, reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League, which is interesting, and then, yeah, we're looking at the years after that, and then it's about working towards winning the Premier League. Very interesting. Okay, so there's not a lot of pressure on us next year, which makes me feel a bit better, but there's pressure on me, myself, that we are going to do better. I want to be able to win the Premier League by the end of the 3 years that we're going to have here. You can tell this is serious, Mike, at the moment, because I'm getting really, really into this. Apologies if this isn't the most kind of entertaining video in terms of like gameplay, etc., etc. This is like I said, this is why it's a quick look back on it. This is for the people that really, really enjoy the kind of tactical side of the game and more maybe a bit about FM, the actual game in general, rather than just the entertainment and the story of Arsenal. So I'm going to run you through the tactics that I have been playing this year. And as you can see, a lot of it has been about shorter passing, high tempo, playing out of defence and focusing down the wings. There seems to be a lot of focus on wing play again this year. That is where the space is. That's where we can exploit. And we've done that really, really well, which is why, though, I think we need to strengthen a little bit more on the wing positions. But it explains why Pepe has played so well. Also because I've left him on an attacking duty. That's in possession. In transition, it's very much the same as normal control would be. We distribute it to the centre-backs, take short kicks, counter-press. And when possession has been won, we don't do either at the moment. We don't really... I haven't specified that we counter, and I haven't specified that we hold shape. We've got quite a high line, but it's quite good because I filled it with rather quick centre-backs and defenders. So we do get back quite quickly, and our defence this season has been probably our biggest strength, which I never thought I'd say about an Arsenal save. But in all fairness, we have done brilliantly, and Bert Leno came second in the Golden Glove Award, second only behind Edison. Which brings me on to the rest of the save then. So let's see how we got on. City won the Premier League ahead of Liverpool, who were top going in with 2 games left, and they a bit bottled it basically at the end of the season. We know all about that. United qualified in the top 4 with us, but 15 points behind us. We were only 6 behind second place Liverpool, and in the end 10 behind City. So a little bit of a gap to make up, but it's progress compared on the seasons before. Tottenham and West Ham, finished in the Europa League, so no Champions League for Spurs. Excellent. No Poch, no party. And then Wolves obviously qualified for the Champions League, even though they finished 12th, but we don't talk about that. Brighton, Sheffield United and Aston Villa went down. Coming up next year with us will be Fulham. We absolutely smashed it in the Championship this year with 97 points. Stoke, God, this is a far cry from real life, isn't it? Stoke will come back, and so will Nottingham Forest. That is a surprise. They beat Leeds in the playoff final. Leeds they just can't do it. There's just a mental block there for them. So those are the 3 clubs we'll be joined with next year. Hopefully they'll be beating fodder for us. Let's hope. Now, this is the bit we really need to talk about, okay? Transfers. Who's going and who's coming in? I can show you kind of the budget, but I've actually already agreed to make 2 signings. One I'm very craftily did before the new budgets were set. So before we qualified for the Champions League, I'd already gone ahead and signed a player with the remaining budget from last year because I didn't know if that would carry on into this year's one. So I wanted to make sure that the £20 million we had to spend did not go to waste. I will not reveal who that was here, but I'm very excited to get him on board. I've also secured another signing for £40 million. So £40 million of the budget that we already had for this season of £85 million is already gone. So at the moment I'm down to £45 million. But there are obviously players I'm looking to offload. I have no issue in telling you the positions of the players I brought in. I've brought in a truly world-class centre-back and a very exciting forward. So I've sorted out 2 of the main positions and problem areas I think that we had. Obviously, I brought the forward in with a view to Lacazette moving on, but he did finish the season in very good form at 7.46, and I'm wondering just how much I can get him for, or sell him on for. He's valued at 55 million. It's the fact, though, that he's got 12 pros and 0 cons that makes me think, I can't really get rid of him, can I? Not really. 3 goals in his last 5, but then you look at the rest of the season, where was he? Do you know what I mean? The leadership is annoying me a little bit. There's a real lack of it. And if I can sell Lacazette for around about 70 million, I would let him go. So in my mind, I think that if I can sell Socrates for around about 25 million and Lacazette for 70, that gives me 95 million pounds to spend. Let's have a look at the shortlist of who I'm looking at buying. I think that the left wing position is one that really needs looking at, and I've got a couple of players that are lined up for that. I think just some general squad depth, maybe a little bit more in the midfield, a little bit more up front. Basically a little bit of everywhere, I think, could do with more strengthening. But I think in terms of the first team lineup, we're very solid now. There's a lot to look forward to. I'll go through the main 5 players that I want to buy, and then you let me know in the comment section, out of those 5, which ones you think would be the most beneficial for me. And obviously, if you have any other suggestions of players that aren't on the shortlist, please do fire them over to me. I want everyone to try and get involved in this as much as possible. But we have to be realistic with the amount of money I can spend, okay? I don't want to splash out £95 million on one player if I can help it. So number 1, we touched on him before back in January, and at the start of the season, is Romario Barro. 20 years old, Portuguese star here at Porto. Played a few games for them last year, a lot of them off the bench, 21 appearances, only 1 assist. So he's lacking a little bit of that, but I don't know how much of that is down to the fact that he's come on late in games. But from an attribute point of view, he looks brilliant. And at 20 years old, I can get him for probably around about £20 million. I'd be very excited about getting. And the problem with that is it's kind of a signing towards the future. And like I've said many times before, this save is not a long-term save. So, is it worth me splashing out this money to get him in when I might not play him that much to start with, and we might only see the best of him in about 5 years' time? Do you see what I mean? With all Kieran Tierney's injury issues, Kolasnak's not going anywhere. Okay, let's just get something 100% straight. Kolasnak is my boy. He is not going anywhere. Ben Chilwell at Leicester. One thing I think we are really lacking is quality British talent. And Ben Chilwell at Leicester is a very, very good player. And Leicester didn't do too well in the save this year. They finished in 8th, which I think for them is kind of like below par, especially when you consider what they're doing in real life. He's obviously wanted by Chelsea at the moment, and they're a team I'll get on to in a minute because some of their players I quite like to buy. We'll go through that in a second. But Ben Chilwell, I think, would be a very decent acquisition at left back. And maybe I sell on Kieran Tierney, although I'm not 100% sure because I can't really knock Kieran Tierney off it. Left back isn't my main priority. It's just I don't want to be stuck for another year where basically Kolasinac is my first team left back because Kieran Tierney has missed about 7 months of football this year. And that's not good enough at this level for the amount of money we paid and the amount of money I'm paying him. It's not enough. Right, left wing position. Hello, Stephen Bergwijn. This is a player who I think we can get for a very, very snip deal. He's on 4.7k at the moment at PSV, so convincing him to come here should be no issue in the slightest. He's currently at PSV. The problem I've got is that he's got 5 cons and 5 pros. His leadership is 5, and he's not the most experienced player in the world. He dreads playing in big matches, which automatically, to me, makes me worry about him a little bit. But, if I keep Aubameyang, and obviously we've got a new centre-forward coming in, Aubameyang likes big matches. He's turned up in a few of them this year. I could always play Aubameyang in the big matches up there, and then have Bergwijn filling in elsewhere. He looks pretty decent, but left wing is the position I'm really struggling with. I'm not sure if he's the answer to the solution, but I think he could be a good rotation option. Memphis Depay. I mean, in terms of a left wing, he doesn't get much better than this. I mean, you look at his attributes, he's absolutely phenomenal. Didn't cut the mustard when he came to England originally, playing for Man United, but then they're rubbish. Playing for us, I think he could get a shed load of goals. He's not the most original signing in the world, but the fact that we could get him for, what is it, £27.5 million, and also he's wanted by Spurs and we can nick him off them, I mean, that makes it even better, doesn't it? He is probably my number one target, in all fairness. He is the man that I would really like to get in, just because of the value. I think we could just get him on the cheap. I think 27 million for this player, incredible deal. So maybe expect him in an Arsenal shirt next year. But let me know what you think in the comment section, because I've got one more left winger who I think might be a bit of a wild card option. Actually, we'll make it 2, but this is my real wild card option, is Josip Brekalo. I think that's how you say it. Wolfsburg, £8 million. They don't want to sell him, but I reckon I can cheap him out of this. He looks very good. He's only 21 years old. He looks excellent in terms of all the attributes you want as a winger. He looks great. Acceleration of 16, pace 15, off the ball 14, flair 17, excites me a lot. 16 for dribbling, 13 crossing, 13 finishing, 14 first touch. Very good footballer. Maybe not completely well-rounded, but at 21 years old, and at that value, I think he could be a really shrewd signing. He's scored 11 goals in 72 appearances for Wolfsburg so far, and at that age, that's not too bad. But, bear with me, could you imagine Marcus Rashford at Arsenal? I mean, if I had the money, apparently we can probably get him for around about 95 million. If I sell Lacazette, I can get Marcus Rashford. Just a thought to you all. I'm going to leave that there. But obviously, I want your input on where we go from here, and trying to rank out the season is very difficult. Is it a success, or because of the Europa League final, is it a bit of a failure? In my mind, it's a little bit of both. I think domestically, brilliant. I think to get third, to come that close to Liverpool and City is absolutely brilliant. But to lose the Europa League final against a team that finished 12th in our league, and considering the run that we had there, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't win it, if I'm honest. I think that was there for us to take. When United went out, that was there for us, and we blew it, really, if I'm honest. And I don't want to blame the youngsters. Blame me. That's what I'm here for. I am the manager, so I have to take it on the chin. But I'm looking forward to Season 2. I hope you are too. Let me know what you reckon we're going to do in Season 2. Let me know about the transfers. That is the most important thing from this. Thanks so much for watching this episode. I promise there'll be gameplay and there'll be plenty of excitement in the next episode. I've got a very, very exciting intro planned for you. Hopefully I've got enough time to pull it off. Just thanks so much for watching the episode. Thank you for watching the series. If you have enjoyed it, then please, of course, do like, share, and subscribe. And until I see you for the start of Season 2 in my FM20 Arsenal save, stay cool.